Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great today. Okay, so I have so much to say, but I won't say it all. And it looks like I'm gonna speak a little bit of Igbo in this video. So, Obone Boni Igbo, and you're listening to me now. Achọmka ige m ntị. Unu na-anyụ n'afọ na ihe mee nwanne anyị nwoke Nnamdi Kanu bụ ihe akwadogolo akwado a long time ago. It's a plan. I don't really know a lot of people who were not expecting this to happen. I personally was expecting it to happen. But always something in the Igbo na-akpọ caveat to this. Naturally speaking, they have psychologically prepared us enough for it. But no matter how much anyone prepares you for something like this, barefaced, glaring injustice, given that we are in a country where terrorists who kill, and they don't just kill, they do sacrificial killing. They kill in the most horrific manner known to mankind. They just get taken to a place where they call rehabilitation center, where they basically just take care of them, give them VIP treatments, and then the next minute they call them repentant terrorists and are integrated into the Nigerian system. In a country that does this, a country that tolerates hardened terrorists, globally proscribed, having peace talks with government authorities, having press conferences, terrorists that disembowel pregnant women, take their children, the babies out of their wombs and then kill the babies, are pardoned without even a chastisement, nothing, just pardoned, integrated, all VIP. In a country that is like that, one would expect that it is absolutely impossible to sentence a man like Nnamdi Kanu for what he said in a broadcast. But we are living in a theater of the absurd. Nigeria is a quintessence of absurdities. But that's not even where I am going. Nene benaga. Ken Munti. Unu nayo na fora since kamwe Donald Trump mecha luta Nigeria for all their wickedness and crimes. Chupuna wenya ike owe designate Nigeria. That ever since then, when he went there, Izibwe watching there, all of them have been fighting, looking for how to say that it is the problem of Igbo people. No Igbo melo Trump ujiwe lota Nigeria. Etosi we lota Nigeria now. The same BBC that coined the propaganda terminology of Igbo Q was the first to fire the first shot by claiming that it was IPOB affiliated organizations that carried out the campaign to Donald Trump. Kiwe man against those guys nugu. Kafa we bidaga bubendi bai. Nka make the kwa make on a chiwoko on your. Ebute kwa another one. Nka make kwa kona be trend on mukwa. Ebute kwa another one again now. That know some Biafra, we put some stupid document has now with them from 2021. Meanwhile, Trump had already designated Nigeria in 2020 before. Ghana na natural death. So basically, if you look at it, if hana noni bihariak everywhere, now try to hagis we rope on the book in Kebidaga before Donald Trump Polundia Milan and Nigeria. He had the plan. Had Chohoka Ndibo di normal, di okay, di sane. Before Trump land there, because now Malugo Namwe Trump ga land in Nigeria within them, and all got fear of how we carry out their plans against Ndibo. That is why Iha Melon Namdi Kano Juebia to me not as a surprise but as a setup or distraction or setup. Actually, can the buy react here? Can the buy be do declare basita to munkan na Igbo ka we mwiki buluzin di befa uniform. We jeba sine go serious threat in that place. Then we serious time we can declare state of emergency na buy. We buluzi uniform repentant in one hand we unleash it on our people. Mbe repentant terrorists basi na bayana army na bayana police beki chinandi ni na haiti ngasi na army no. The bank kwan montio. Since the Civil War of 1967 and 1970, Ayadibe were anywhere close to freedom as we are today. Not for once. Chineke na azagokwe bela anyo. Not to hear your brother now, because I'm in a place where I should know. I have never come across an Igbo person. Maybe there are one or two exceptions, but it's hard. I've not come across an Igbo person that deep down in their soul does not wish and pray for Chineke na to zana our berekini freedom kainwelo why. Only Igbo for ngolala niya. But this pain and this burden now bali everywhere. Mwana wasiki as your own brother no ni simiri maybe hesieme that na Chineke na zage belawa, not that no na cheese just zage already. Ndia we na chozi ke provoke why can you make something oga by me tupu nyemaka na chibia elu ayaka obona hebuto sigondi ba nine e agwa set up. So achom you with a video Kesasia video to as many people as possible. One the buying in and I'm say who no bana dere no ju una ango na ungo na unko na bia. At the US Congress hearing on the designation of Nigeria, hearing now take place right now. A congressman, black man, literally was speaking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the hearing of the whole world media not there. The guy when they disgrace Nigeria with the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even mentioned that the guy had to defend himself with sickness and everything. Yet terrorists are walking around free, holding press conferences. Owanina Malugo, Nigeria is dancing naked. Completely naked in front of the whole world, and only Nigeria seems not to know that it is naked. Happen on Nigeria, okay? Happen on Nigeria. Una dabakwanana trap in the Nigeria. Dono muna kananti, jidono muna aka. Una wakwana anwa overreact to heneme 19 work because decision on our brother. Mpotia Adiko decided I will not speak more than that. Una wana we baye na trap mpakara ndi ukwensua because I daba na trap fa more deaths for us. Don't worry yourself about Mazi. Lotana Mbwagia today 19 woke ya puta, and it will happen soon. God bless you.
Yes, my name is Jude Ugwai. I'm one of the lawyers to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Onyundu, we normally call him Onyundu. He's our leader. We are in court today, and he has several applications, particularly the one insisting that his right to final written address, guaranteed under Section 294, subsection 1 of the Constitution, be allowed him, that even if the court insists on foreclosing his right to defend the matter, he has given evidence, and that is the position of the Supreme Court, that once you have cross-examined the prosecution witnesses, you are deemed to have given evidence, in which case you have the right to sum your evidence by way of final written address. The Mazin now told the court that even if you are committed to determine the case without my defense, I want to file final written address on 2 grounds. During trial, your lordship said that any objection to the admissibility of the documents tendered before your lordship can only be agitated and addressed in the final written address. I have not done that. I want to do it in the final written address. Number 2, I did not waive my right to final written address. If the prosecution waived their own, that is peculiar to them. But insofar as I did not testify, and I have rested my case on that of the prosecution, I should be allowed to tell the court the relevance of my cross-examination questions, the answers of the witnesses of the prosecution, and the effect on my freedom. But the court insisted that he would not listen to him, and in a haste dismissed all applications, and then intended to proceed on judgment. And the man said, you cannot do this. That is not what the Lord says. You have not given me the law that allows you to deliver judgment without giving me my opportunity of addressing the court on my defense. And the court said no, and then proceeded to give judgment. In giving this judgment, the court convicted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the 7 count charges. But in convicting him on all the counts, the court failed to make a statement at least once on the validity and sufficiency of the discrediting of the witnesses of the prosecution. They were cross-examined by learned senior advocate of Nigeria, particularly Chief Kana Gabi, a former attorney general of the Federation, Chief Onye Chikpazo, a professor of law, a renowned jurist. But these questions, for instance, if I may give you an instance, they talked of importation of transmitter, and Onye Chikpazo asked under cross-examination, did you get any document or evidence from the customs department to show that there was no lawful importation of it? And the person said no, and there was no such evidence. But the court proceeded to convict without in any manner evaluating the evidence of that cross-examination, without allowing him to file final written address, and hastily said this person is an international terrorist. That's an opinion, and that tells us how biased everything could be. But as lawyers, it is left for us to get the record of proceeding, study it, and go to the next level. However they want it, our law is that no matter the nature of the offense for which you are charged, you have the right to defend yourself and right to appeal against any conviction. They may look at it that he's unruly. He may be unruly, I may agree to that, but there are circumstances warranting his conduct. This is a man that was arrested in 2015. His prosecution started. The court granted him bail in 2017 in spite of objections. He was at his hometown. He was attacked. They wanted to kill him. And he ran away for his life and physical well-being, going to a court for appeal. Court for appeal said, under the law, the Terrorism Prevention and Protection Act, Section 76, subsection 1 paragraph D, that you cannot arrest this man from Kenya and rendition him to Nigeria without due process of law. That renders the whole proceeding invalid. And they went to Supreme Court. And within the time they went to Supreme Court, out of time, from the time of conviction, the time of the decision of the court of appeal, to the time they went to the Supreme Court, this man was in detention, even when there was no law holding him. They further went to court and got an order for stay of execution. to ensure that Mazi is not released. I do not know of any law in Nigeria that allows a stay of execution applicable in civil matter to criminal proceedings. But that happened, and that is the peculiarity of our case. We went to the Supreme Court, challenged it, and the Supreme Court said, okay, let us first of all determine the validity of his arrest and detention. They now said the arrest and rendition to Nigeria, though illegal, that his remedy is a civil suit by way of fundamental right enforcement. But that it does not matter, he should still undergo his defense, his prosecution. But that whatever objection he has, he can raise it at the trial court. He has come to court, he is not a lawyer, and he said, even during pleading arraignment, he said, I do not understand the charges for which I stand trial. If you explain the charges, I will defend myself. And then he went further to say, these laws are repealed. And of course, the court admitted the laws today. The trial court admitted that they were repealed. If you tell me the law under which I'm charged and the validity thereof, I will defend myself. Eventually, it was not told to him. He was meant to defend himself without knowing it. And he said, I don't do that. The court foreclosed him. Let us say the foreclosure is right. He has come to file a motion before the court that I have my right to defend myself. I have the right to file final address. Please allow me to file final address so that I articulate my point and you make your decision. The court refused and ordered that he should be removed, sent out of the court. That was what happened, and the court now gave the judgment with several appealable grounds. Our prayer is that the Federal Republic of Nigeria should not be emotional over this case. It is possible he's wrong, it is possible he's right. But either way, government should allow due process of law, look at the evidence. If there is appeal, look at the record of proceedings and know whether his right to fair hearing was denied him, and whether the proceeding was done in line with the law, and whether this trial complied with law. If, for instance, the law or the offense for which he is alleged to have violated overseas, which the publication is said to be overseas, is not shown to have been an offense in those countries, my brother, the little I know of law is that it will not stand, because the Attorney General of Relations has to show that the offenses for which he stands trial are also offenses in the foreign countries at which the publications were made. That is Nigerian law. It is in section 76, boldly written jurisdiction. If they say they don't bother about those ones, then we come to the issue of this repeal, that this man said this law has been repealed. The court today now said there are savings clauses. There are saving clauses, but the authorities that limited the scope of applicability of saving clauses, and that is why we, the convict now wanted the court to say this is the position of the law, but there's a saving clause, so that the court will be addressed on the validity or the strength of the saving clauses. So my brothers, people should not panic. It's a gloomy day, it's a bad day for us. We are almost mourning. Igbo land is mourning, but I assure you that in law or in literature we say we have reached the climax. There must be an intervention and we go to the Duma. God will save us and we will come out. If President Tinubu says that he will not interfere with due process of law, that is his right. That is the law. This is the time for him to interfere. If he understands that the issue of terrorism or whatever allegation is not peculiar to Igbo land, it happens across Nigeria, and our own is not different. This is the time for him to intervene for whatever reason. He said he cannot interfere with due process of law. Today, the due process of law is completed. Whether we go on appeal or we don't go on appeal, this is the time for him to act, and act well, for the benefit of Nigeria, for the peace of the country, and for the understanding of his governance. May God bless us and bless Nigeria in general.